Are you ready?
Yes!
I said, are you ready?
Yes!
And let's kick it up a notch!
Yeah!
Thank you. Enjoy the show.
After the point when the damage is done, after you're sure that it's too late to run, after you've said you're sorry for the 100th time, how do we get back to fine?
Whoa! Just stay quiet now.
Hello, Matthew.
Hello, Lee. Father here.
Sir, Mr. Cuthbert, you'd have me to close up.
Will the 5:30 train from Charlottetown be along soon?
That was the 6th, just like. But there was a passenger on the 5:30 drop off for you.
Oh,
She's staying out there on the way.
she.
Yes, sir. There's more scope for imagination there.
I'm not expecting a girl. This boy I've come for.
Guess there's a mistake. Mrs. Spencer came off the train with that girl. Said you and your sister would be along for her presently.
Oh,
Sorry, Mr. Cuthbert. She's the only one we've got.
I don't understand.
My dad says I've got to close up.
Oh.
Maybe you should ask the girl.
Oh, I suppose you're Mr. Matthew Cuthbert of Green Gables. I'm very glad to see you, and I was beginning to be afraid you weren't coming for me, and I was just starting to imagine all the things that might have happened to prevent you. I made up my mind that if you couldn't come for me tonight, I'd stay up all night in that big wild cherry tree just down the track. I wouldn't be a bit afraid.
Well, now, sorry I was late. Give me your bag.
Oh, no, I can carry it. It isn't heavy. It's got all my worldly goods, but it isn't heavy. Mrs. Spencer said it was an 8-mile drive. Mrs. Spencer said probably Miss Cuthbert would come with you.
Oh, Merlin's getting things ready for the. Oh,
Oh, Mr. Cuthbert, it's wonderful I'm going to live with you and your sister and belong to you. I've never belonged to anybody. Not really. I don't suppose you were ever an orphan in an asylum, but it's worse than anything you could imagine. Oh, Mrs. Spencer said it was wicked of me to talk like that. It's so easy to be wicked without knowing it, isn't it? Oh, there is so little scope for the imagination in an asylum. I used to lie awake at nights and try to imagine. I guess that's why I'm so thin. I am dreadful thin, ain't I? There isn't a pick in my bones. I do love to imagine I'm nice and plump, with dimples in my elbows. Oh, Prince Edward Island is the bloomiest place. I just love it already. But those red roads are so funny. I asked Mrs. Spencer what made the roads red, and she said she didn't know. And for pity's sake, not to ask her any more questions, she said I must have asked her 1,000 already. But how are you going to find out about things if you don't ask questions? And what does make the roads red?
well, no, I don't know.
Isn't it splendid to think of all the things there are to find out about? Oh, but am I talking too much? People are always telling me I do. Would you rather I didn't talk? If you say so, I'll stop. I can stop when I make up my mind to do it, although it is difficult.
Well, now, it's fine. You just talk as much as you like.
Oh, I'm so glad. I know you and I are going to get along fine. Oh, Mr. Cuthbert! Oh, Mr. Cuthbert! Oh, Mr. Cuthbert! What is this place?
What do you mean?
This white place.
Now you must mean the avenue. Crazy Pentalists that put trees along years ago. It is kind of pretty place, though.
Pretty? Oh, beautiful doesn't even go far enough. It's wonderful. It's the first thing I've ever saw that couldn't be improved upon by the imagination. It just satisfies me here. The avenue. No. I shall always call it the White Way of Delight. Never had a home. Not really since I can remember. Oh, isn't that pretty?
That's Bear's Pond.
Oh, I don't like that name either. I shall call it... Oh, the Lake of Shining Waters. When I hit on a name that suits exactly, it gives me a thrill. Don't things ever give you a thrill?
Well, now, it always depends on what gives me a thrill. Like to see ugly white girls space something from their bats. Oh, I have to look at them.
Well, I don't think that's exactly the same kind of thrill. Why do other people call it Barry's Pond?
I reckon because Mr. Barry lives up there in the house.
Oh, does Mr. Barry have any little girls? Well, not so little. About my size.
He's got one about 12. Her name is Diana.
Oh, what a perfectly lovely name.
Oh, no, I don't know.
Good night, dear Lake of Shining Waters.
We're pretty near home now. That's Green Gables over.
Oh, don't tell me. Let me guess. I'm sure I'll guess right. That's it, isn't it?
Well, you guessed it.
Oh, just as soon as I saw it, I felt it was home.
Well, here we are.
Matthew Cuthbert? Who's that? Where's the boy?
There wasn't any boy. There was only her.
There must have been a boy. We sent word to Miss Spencer to bring a boy.
Well, she did. She brought her. I had to bring her home. Loretta really made second coming.
This is a pretty piece of business.
You don't want me. You don't want me because I'm not a boy. Oh, I should have known. Nobody ever did want me.
Oh, there's no need to cry about it.
Yes, there is a need. This is the most tragical thing that ever happened to me.
Well, don't cry anymore. We're not going to turn you out of doors tonight. You'll have to stay here until we investigate this affair. What's your name?
Could you please call me Cordelia?
Call you Cordelia? Is that your name?
No, it's not exactly my name, but I would love to be called Cordelia.
I don't know what on earth you mean. If Cordelia isn't your name, what is?
And Shirley. Oh, but please call me Cordelia. It couldn't matter to you what you call me if you're only going to be here a little while.
Very well. Anne? Can you tell us how this mistake happened? Were there no boys at the asylum?
Oh, yes, but Mrs. Spencer said distinctly that she wanted a girl about 12 years old. Oh, I couldn't sleep for joy all last night. Oh, why didn't you leave me at the station? If I hadn't seen the white way of delight and the lake of shining waters, it wouldn't be so hard.
What on earth is she talking about?
It's just a conversation on the road.
If I was beautiful and had nut brown hair, would you keep me?
No. You want a boy to help Matthew out on the farm, and a girl would be no use to us. Come on, put down your bag and sit down to tea.
Oh, I can't eat anything. I'm in the depths of despair.
Oh, what in the world?
A huge lump comes right into your throat, and you can't swallow anything. Not even if it was chocolate caramel.
A what?
I had a chocolate caramel once 2 years ago. Oh, and it was simply delicious. I hope you won't be offended because I can't eat. Everything smells so nice.
Yeah, she's tired. Let's go back.
Yes, but where? I got the pallet in the pantry ready for the boy, and that won't do. And the guest room isn't for. Oh, well, come along now. The guest room is clean. I suppose you have a nightgown?
Mm-hmm.
Dress as quick as you can and get yourself to bed. Good night.
How can you call it a good night when you know it must be the very worst night I've ever had?
Well, this is a pretty kettle of fish. This is what comes of sending word instead of going ourselves. One of us will have to take her over to Miss Spencer's again tomorrow. We'll have to arrange this thing again.
Well, I suppose so.
You suppose so? Don't you know it?
I mean, it's kind of for you to send her back. You should send her staying here.
Matthew Cuthbert, you don't mean to say we ought to keep her.
We might be some good to her.
I can see as plain that child has bewitched you.
She could maybe some comfort and companionship for you.
I'm not suffering for companionship, thank you. It's you who needs it, not me.
I could hire a French boy to help me.
I'm not going to keep her. What? Matthew, aren't you going to have your tea? Matthew! You've washed those dishes right enough, I'll give you that.
Thank you. The world doesn't seem like such a howling wilderness as it did last night. I'm glad it's not a rainy day today because it's so much easier to be cheerful and bear up under affliction on a sunshiny day. And I do feel that I have a lot to bear up under. Although I do
mornings as well, too. No, for pity's sake, child, hold your tongue. You're talking entirely too much for a little girl. Now sit here until Matthew comes. Now, since you're obviously bent on talking, you might as well talk to some purpose. Tell me what you know about yourself.
Oh, couldn't I please tell you what I imagine about myself?
No, I don't want any more of your imaginings. Just stick to ball facts. How old are you and where were you born?
Well, I was 12 in March, and I was born in Bolingbroke, Nova Scotia. And my parents were Walter and Bertha Shirley, and they were both teachers at the Bolingbroke High School. Aren't Walter and Bertha lovely names?
Well, I suppose it doesn't matter what a person's name is, as long as he behaves himself.
Well, I don't know. I read in a book once that a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. Well, when my mother married my father, she gave up teaching, of course, and Mrs. Thomas, she cleaned for them sometimes. She said that my parents were as poor as church mice, and that I was the homeliest baby she ever saw. But my mother thought I was perfectly beautiful. She died of fever when I was just 3 months old. Oh, I do wish she lived long enough for me to remember calling her mother. Father died 4 days afterwards from fever too, and that's when I first got to become an orphan, and nobody knew what to do with me. Finally, Mrs. Thomas, the scrub woman, said she'd take me. So I lived with her and her drunken husband until I was 8 years old. As soon as I could walk, I helped look after our children. There were 4 of them younger than me, and I could tell you they took a lot of looking after. Then Mr. Thomas got killed falling under a train, and Mrs. Hammond from up the river came down and said she'd take me, seeing I got to be so handy with children. Now, Mrs. Hammond had 8 children. Now, I like babies in moderation, but twins 3 times in succession is too much. I told Mrs. Hammond so firmly when the last pair came.
I should think so.
I lived with Mrs. Hammond for over 4 years until Mr. Hammond died, and I had to go to the asylum because nobody would take me. I stayed there for 4 months until Mrs. Spencer came.
Well, this woman, Mrs. Hammond and Mrs. Hammond, were they good to you?
Well, I'm sure they meant good to me. Oh, isn't that pretty?
What?
That enormous cherry tree. I saw the corner of her from my bedroom window. I've named her the Snow Queen. She's radiantly lovely. She blooms as if she really meant it.
Well, I'll be home in time to milk the cows.
Little J boy from down the creek was here this morning. Told you I heard it from the summer.
Oh, come along then.
How far is it to Mrs. Spencer's place, please?
About 10 miles, I guess.
Good. I don't want to get there. Somehow it seems like the end of everything.
I'm so sorry about the noise, Miss Clifford. And of course, I'm dreadfully sorry about the mistake. Richard's are nasty, a terrible flaky thing. She says particularly that you wanted a girl. But I don't think you have to send her back. Miss Peter Blow was complaining this morning that what she really wants is a little girl like Anne to help her.
And go sit in the buggy.
She's got such a weird family, you know, and she keeps losing the girl she hires to help.
Peter Blue's wife? I don't give a thought about that to a woman.
I don't much fancy her style myself, but it's that or keep her ourselves. I saw you prowling the lane as we drove up. I saw you also being like an idiot when you saw that she was with me. I've been thinking over the idea. It's nothing. I said I've been thinking.
Oh, Miss Cuthbert, did I really hear you say you're thinking you might let me stay at Green Gables?
Yes, you did hear me say just that, and no more. We might let Mrs. Blewett take you. It's obvious she needs you. I certainly don't. Now, Anne, last night you threw your clothes all about the floor. I haven't any use at all for little girls who aren't neat.
I was so hard up in my mind last night. I'll fold them neatly tonight.
You'll have to remember a little better if we decide to let you stay at Green Gables. You can say your prayers now.
I never say prayers.
Why, Anne, don't you know it's a terrible, wicked thing not to say your prayers every night? I'm afraid God must think you're a very bad little girl.
You'd find it easier to be bad than good if you had red hair, Just Thomas said that God made my hair red on purpose, and I've never cared about him since.
And you will say your prayers while you are under my roof.
Why, of course, I'll do anything if only you're going to keep me. But you're going to have to tell me what to say just this once.
Very well. You must kneel down.
But why must people kneel down to pray? If I really wanted to pray, I think I'd go into a great big field all alone, and I'd look up, up, up into that lovely blue sky.
Anne.
What must I say?
Very well then. Well, you must say. Now I lay me down to. Oh, Anne, you're old enough to pray for yourself. Just thank God and ask Him humbly for the things you want.
All right, I'll do my best. Gracious Heavenly Father. That's the way I think ministers say it in church. Gracious Heavenly Father, I thank Thee for the white way of delight and the lake of shining waters and the snow queen. I am really extremely grateful for them, and that's all the blessings I can think of now to thank Thee for. As for the things I want, it would take a great deal of time to name them all, so I'll only mention the two most important. Please, please let me stay at Green Gables, and please let me be good looking when I grow up. I remain, yours respectfully, Anne Shirley. There, did I do all right?
You did all right. Go to bed now.
Oh, I just remembered. I should have said amen, not yours respectfully, shouldn't I? Do you think it'll make a difference?
I don't suppose it will. Go to bed. Good night.
I will, and it is a good night.
It's about time someone had dropped that girl and taught her something. It seems sort of a duty. I dare say I would make a terrible mess out of it, but I'll do my best. Mind, you don't go interfere with my methods. Maybe an old maid doesn't know much about bringing up a child, but I guess she knows more than an old bachelor. When I fail, it'll be time enough to put you more in.
Please, Miss Cuthbert?
I might as well tell you. Matthew and I decided to let you stay at Green Gables. That is, if you decide to be a great little girl and show yourself grateful. Why, child, whatever is the matter?
Oh, I'm crying. Oh, I can't think why. Oh, I'm so happy. Why am I crying?
I suppose it's because you're all excited and worked up. Sit down in that chair and try to calm yourself.
What am I to call you? Oh, I'd love to call you Aunt Marilla. It would make me feel as if I really belong to you. Can't I?
No. You'll call me plain Marilla, and I don't believe in possible names that isn't there.
Nobody could imagine that you were my aunt.
I couldn't.
Don't you ever imagine things are from what they really are?
No.
Oh, Miss Cuthbert. Marilla, how much you miss.
Well, when the Lord puts us in certain circumstances, He doesn't mean for us to imagine them away. Now go upstairs and learn our prayers.
Oh, Marilla, do you think I shall ever have a bosom friend in Avonlea?
A what kind of friend?
A bosom friend, a really kindred spirit to whom you can confide your inmost soul to. Oh, I've dreamed of meeting her all my life. Do you think it's possible?
Well, I don't know. Diana Barry's about your age. You have to behave yourself, though. Mrs. Barry won't let any girl who's at nice or good play with Diana.
Oh, what's Diana like? Is she pretty? Her hair isn't red, is it?
It seems impossible for you to stop talking if you've got anybody to listen to. So go up to your room and learn that prayer.
Oh, you're only Anne of Green Gables. It's so much nicer to be Anne of Green Gables than Anne of nowhere in particular. Oh, that must be Diana's house over there. Hello, Diana. I hope you'll be my bosom friend. Hello, I'm Anne of Green Gables!
Marilla! Rachel, come in.
Well, Marilla, I'll just tell you plain. I think you're doing a mighty foolish thing, a risky thing, that's what.
Thank you for dropping by, Rachel.
Bringing a strange child into your house.
I will admit I had some qualms myself.
Can't you have just sent her back?
Well, Rachel, I suppose I could, but Matthew took a fancy to her.
Well, it's a great responsibility you've taken on yourself, and with no experience with children. I don't want to discourage you, I'm sure, Marilla.
I'm not feeling very discouraged, Rachel. Well, I don't suppose you were here just to see me. Anne? Yes, Marilla?
Well, they didn't pick you for your looks. She's terrible skinny, Marilla. Come here, child, let me have a look at you. Lawful heart, did you ever see such freckle and hair red as carrots? Come here, child, let me have a look. Come here.
You don't mean to say.
No, I'm not trying to excuse her. She's been very naughty, and I'll give her a good talking to. But we must make allowances, Rachel. She's never been taught what's right. And you were too harsh on her.
Well, I guess I'll have to be very careful what I say, since the fine feelings of an orphan brought from goodness knows where should be considered before anything else. If you take my advice, which I suppose you won't do, you'll give her that talk to with a fair-sized burst switch. Well, you've made a fine exhibition of yourself. I don't say Mrs. Lynde was exactly right. She's much too outspoken, but that's no excuse. She was my visitor, and she was a guest, and a stranger, and you must go to her and tell her that you are very sorry for your bad temper.
Oh no, I can never do that. You can punish me in any way you like, Marilla. You can shut me up in a dark, damp dungeon inhabited by snakes and toads and feed me only bread and water. But I cannot ask Mrs. Lynde to forgive me.
You're not in the habit of shutting people in dark, damp dungeons, Anne. Well, apologize to Mrs. Lynde, you shall, and you must stay here up in your room while you're ready to do so.
I shall have to stay here forever then.
You'll have the night to think better of your conduct.
How are you making it?
Pretty well. I imagine a good deal.
Marilla's dreadful determined woman. Dreadful determined. Don't you think you have it over with?
Do you mean apologize to Mrs. Lynde?
Just smooth it over, so to speak.
Well, I suppose I could do it for you, if you really want me to.
It's been terrible on some bounces all day without you. Just go and smooth things over.
All right. I'll go and tell Marilla that I've repented.
But don't tell Marilla anything about this.
Wild horses won't drag the secret from me. Matthew?
Yes?
How could wild horses drag a secret from a person anyhow?
Well, I just don't know.
Marilla. Well, I'm sorry I lost my temper and said rude things, and I'm willing to go and tell Mrs. Lynde so.
Very well then, we'll go now.
Oh, can we just wait for 5 more minutes?
Whatever for.
I'm imagining what I must say to Mrs. Lynde.
Oh. Rachel,
Yes.
Anne has something she'd like to tell you.
Very well. Well.
Oh, Mrs. Lynde, I am extremely sorry I behaved terribly to you. I disgraced my dear friends Matthew and Marilla who let me stay at Green Gables even though I'm not a boy. Oh, it was wicked of me to fly into a temper because you told me the truth. My hair is red, and I am freckled and skinny and ugly. What I said to you was true, too. Oh, but I shouldn't have said it. Please, please forgive me. If you don't, it'll be a lifelong sorrow and a poor little orphan girl.
Dear child, of course I forgive you. I guess I was a little too hard on you. Anyways, it can't be denied your hair is terrible red. But I once knew a red-headed girl whose hair darkened to a real handsome auburn when she grew up. I wouldn't be mighty surprised if yours did too. Not on mine.
Oh, Mrs. Lynde, you have given me hope. And a ghost dead in the lane.
Okay, well, now Marilla, she's a real odd little thing to be sure, but she might turn out all right after all, now that she's come along with civilized folks. On the whole, I kind of like her. I apologized pretty well, didn't I?
I hope there's no more occasions to make such apologies then.
Oh, this feeling not really comfortable to apologize and be forgiven, doesn't it? Aren't the stars bright tonight? Good morning, Marilla.
Good morning.
This is the little girl you're talking about.
Yes, this is Anne Shirley.
Spelled with an E.
How are you?
body, although considerably rumpled up in spirit. Thank you, ma'am.
This is my little girl, Diana. Diana, you might take Anne out in the garden and show her your flowers. It will be better for you than straining over that book. Come here, Diana. She reads entirely too much, and I can't prevent her, for the father isn't the best her.
I don't know why Mother's always complaining about me reading books. I like stories. Don't you, Anne? Anyway, here's the flower ribbon. Mother does most of it, but I got to do this little part myself. See? The daffodils were already here and the peonies, but I couldn't always with clever and the blooming hearts. And
Oh, Diana, oh, don't you think you can like me a little? Enough to be my bosom friend.
right, I guess so. It'll be jolly to have somebody to play with.
Will you swear to be my best friend forever and ever?
Oh, I don't know. It's dreadfully wicked to swear.
Oh, no, not my kind of swearing. There are two different kinds, you know.
I've never heard of both kinds.
There really is another. It just means vowing and promising solemnly.
Oh, well, I guess I can learn doing that. How do you do it?
You join hands, so it ought to be over running water. Well, just imagine this path is running water. I'll repeat the oath first. I solemnly swear to be faithful to my bosom friend Diana Barry as long as the sun and moon shall endure. Now you say it and put my name in.
I solemnly swear to be faithful to my bosom friend and
Surely,
surely
as long as the sun and moon shall endure.
as long as the sun and moon shall endure.
There!
There, you are not Berlin, but I didn't care. I think I'm going to like you real well.
Yes, she seems to be getting along just fine. I couldn't imagine how she pulled her tongue for a whole school day. Oh, she seems to be popular. Oh, yes. Sophia alone let me wear her bead ring all afternoon, and Ruby Gillis gave me an apple, and we had scrumptious fun playing in lunchtime.
Scrumptious!
Oh, yes. Oh, and Jane Andrews told me that she heard Minnie McPackerson tell Chrissy Andrews that she heard Sophia alone tell her that she had a very pretty nose.
So she does, if you don't count all the freckles.
Oh, it troubles her sometimes. She's in the 4th book, you know. All her friends are in the 5th.
She won't be alone for long. Gilbert Blythe is coming back soon.
Over. He must be near 14.
He didn't go to school while he was out in Alberta with his father.
That's right. John was sick for a time. Oh, what in the world? And surely what on earth? I'm never going back to that school again! What do you mean? Oh, I hate Mr. Phillips and I'm never going back there again! Nonsense. You will go to school as usual and tomorrow. Oh no, I'm not going back. I'll learn my lessons here and try to hold my tongue and be good all the time, but I'm not going back to that school, I assure you!
What was it, happened?
No. That's Gilbert Blythe! No, Matthew, perhaps we'd better.
Oh, here's some of the girls.
Diana, Liz, Jane, Ruby.
Can we see Anne?
I'm afraid she doesn't want to see anyone.
Thank you.
It was Gilbert.
He wrote it all summer. I was having to run.
And this is his birthday then. I just said that.
Hey, look, that's Gilbert Blythe. Just look at him and see if you don't think he's handsome.
Terrible.
Just torments our lifestyle.
Didn't somebody write his name up with... Yes, there. Take notice. Gilbert Blythe plus Julia Bell.
Morning, Gilbert.
Very, little coat.
Gilbert, how was your summer?
Oh, all right, I reckon. It was New Brunswick. Jane Andrews, you little squirrel.
You should have looked at yesterday.
Oh.
Diana?
Morning, Josie.
Well, it won't be so easy to stay ahead of the class now, Anna.
What? They left Gilbert in the class after this. He's ever so smart, I told you.
Yes.
Yes. Gilbert!
I think your Gilbert Blythe is handsome, Diana, but I think he's very bold.
But what happened?
Anne was spelling champion of the 4th class, and Gilbert was trying to take her crown.
Anne could have spelled easily.
But Gilbert didn't either.
I never even heard of it.
So Mr. Phillips called them ties. He said they'd both be moving into our class soon.
And then he told us to work on our math problems daily while he did some special work with the Queens and Caddy scholars at the back. And Gilbert started to put resist again.
Carrots, carrots.
You mean hateful boy, how dare you!
Mr. Phillips made Anne go out to the board, and he wrote. Anne Shirley has a very bad temper.
He spelled it without an E, Marilla.
And then he made her to put on the jealous hat.
Then Gilbert said it was his fault because he teased Anne.
Then Mr. Phillips made him go out to the board, and he wrote, Gilbert Blythe must tease his lady friends more discreetly.
And he made Gilbert stand right beside Anne.
Because there was only one cap, and they had to share it.
And he made Anne hold Gilbert's hands because there was only one cat.
I just said that! And Anne wouldn't.
And he made her.
Then he wrote a plus sign between their names on the board and said, now, as the two of you have succeeded in commanding the attention of the whole school, we have no choice but to take notice.
Well, I guess she's at the head of the class now.
It was awful.
You should have seen her face. It was actually white with little brass spots.
Oh, mercy!
Then it was time, and we all picked up our things and started to leave.
I'm awfully sorry I made fun of your hair. Honest, I am. Don't be mad for keeps now. Huh?
Oh, how could you, Anne?
I shall never forgive Gilbert Blythe!
Gilbert is all the girls. Oh, Anne, and she wouldn't even let me walk home.
And we'll see you. Go on, girls. And thank you for coming over. Well, what would you advise, Rachel?
Since you've asked, Marilla, I'll just humor her.
What?
It's my belief that Mr. Phillips was in the wrong. Of course not to do it in front of the children.
No.
I wouldn't say school to her until she said it herself. She'll cool off in a week and be ready to go back. But if you were to make her go back right off, dear knows what tantrum she'd throw.
I suppose you're right.
Of course I'm right.
Yes, and she said that we can use the second best tea service.
Yay! When will she be back?
Not till late. She's left me in charge of everything.
Well, it's awfully nice of her to let you invite me to tea.
Yes, Marilla is a very generous woman. She said that we can have fruit cake and cherry preserves for tea. And you see, she said that we can have raspberry cordial to drink. I love bright red drinks. Don't you? They taste twice as good as any other color.
No.
Wait here.
What?
Just wait here. Now knock.
What?
Knock!
Oh. Knock, knock.
Why, Diana Barry, you come in. Here, let me take that. How nice of you to come for tea. How is your mother?
We were just at her house. You just saw her.
Diana?
Oh! Yes, she's very nice.
Yes, Marilla is an excellent help. Thank you, Diana.
I suppose Mr. Clifford is hauling potatoes to the ship this afternoon, is he?
Yes, our potato crop is very good this year. I hope your father's crop is good too.
It is very good, thank you.
Now, Diana, if you'll please try one of these cookies, I'll bring the cordial.
Oh, thank you, Anne.
Oh,
What's the matter?
Marilla's had the cordial
top shelf. Now, Diana, please help yourself. I'll set our tea to dry.
I thank you, Anne. Oh, that's awfully nice raspberry cordial, Anne. I didn't know raspberry cordial can be so nice.
I'm really glad you like it. Take as much as you want.
Well, it's so good and I'm awful thirsty. That is the nicest raspberry cordial I ever drank.
Marilla is a famous cook. She's teaching me to cook, but I assure you, Diana, it's uphill work.
Oh, Anne, I do wish I'd come back to school. I have to sit with Josie Pye now, and she drives me crazy with her wiggling and squeaking like chalk on the slates. Maybe I'll just have one more. Are you sure you don't want any?
Oh, no, please take all you want.
Gilbert 5 is out of the 4th class now, and Mr. Phillips says...
Diana, I don't want to hear anything about that person.
Oh, Anne. Here, let me help you with that.
Oh, no, thank you, Diana. Oh, Diana, what is the matter?
I'm awful sick. I must go home.
Oh, you mustn't dream of going home without your tea. It's all ready. I'll pour it this very minute.
I must go home.
Oh, let me get you something to eat anyhow. You'll feel better then.
No, I must go home. I must go home. I must go home.
All right, Diana, I'll take you home. Or do you feel bad?
Anne, I'm awfully dizzy.
I've never heard of company going home without their tea. And did Mrs. Lynde have a closing for anxiety?
Whatever is the matter now?
Mrs. Lynde said that Mrs. Barry is in an awful state. She says that I set Diana drunk on Saturday and sent her home in a disgraceful condition. And she says I'm a wicked little girl and she's never going to let me play with Diana again.
Set Diana drunk? What on earth did you give her?
Nothing but a raspberry cordial. I never thought a raspberry cordial could set people drunk. Not even if they drank 3 tumblerfuls.
Oh, no.
Oh, what's the matter?
And you certainly are a genius for getting in trouble. You went and gave Diana currant wine, not raspberry cordial.
Oh, but I thought it was the cordial. Mrs. Barry will never believe that you did it on purpose.
I guess Mrs. Barry will have to punch Diana for taking 3 tumbles of anything. There, child, I can't see if it was any of your fault.
Oh, I must cry. Diana and I are parted forever.
Oh, don't cry. Mrs. Barry will think better of it when she finds out that you're not to blame. Come on, let's go.
Oh, I wish you'd come with me. She's more likely to believe you than me.
Well, I am going to. Come on. Out of the most unagreeable woman I have ever saw, she's the worst. Come on, let's go home.
Anne! Diana! Oh, Anne, I cried and told her it wasn't your fault, but it wasn't any use. She said I could stay out on here only a minute, and she already turned over the timer.
Oh, 1 minute isn't long enough for an eternal farewell.
No,
Oh, will you promise faithfully never to forget me?
indeed I will.
Oh, I know you'll have other friends after this, but will you?
I'll never have another bosom friend, Anne. I couldn't.
Diana!
Oh,
fare thee well, my beloved friend.
hi, Anne.
It's over. I'm never having another friend again. Maybe Mrs. Barry will let Diana come to my funeral.
I don't think very much grief if you die as long as you can talk.
Marilla, I'm going to school tomorrow. Thank God for that. Matthew, did you ever study geometry when you went to school?
No, I did not.
Oh, I wish you had. It's perfectly awful stuff, and I can't make head or tail of it. And Gilbert, some of the others are so smart at it. It's extremely mortifying.
Well, now, I don't know. Miss Stacy told me that you were the smartest student in school and making rapid progress. And just moved you and Gilbert up to 5th class.
Well,
Abe!
Diana.
Oh, Wayne, do come quick. Minna May's awful sick. She's got croup. Young Mary Jo says her mother and father are away to town for the rally, and there's nobody to go to the doctor. She's awful bad, and young Mary Jo doesn't know what to do. And oh, Anne, I'm awful scared.
Oh, Matthew's going to harness the mare to go to Carmody for the doctor.
Dr. Blaker's in Carmody. He went to town, and I guess Dr. Spencer will go too. Young Mary Jo doesn't know what to do, and Mrs. Lund is away. Oh, Anne.
Don't cry, Daddy. I know exactly what to do for Troop. When you look after 3 pairs of twins, you naturally get a lot of experience. Just wait till I get the Ipecac bottle. You mayn't have any at your house. Come on now. Matthew!
Hey!
Spencer Rail!
Hi! Too late, we got there.
He did.
So you did say the baby stuff.
I'm real sorry I was ever so cross with Mrs. Hammond for having twins. Oh, but Matthew, I'm so sleepy.
Got you now. It's just schedule this.
Oh, I can't go to school. I just know I couldn't keep my eyes open. But I'd hate to stay home because some of the others would get the head of the class. Good morning, Marilla. Good afternoon, Anne. Oh, what time is it? Nearly 1. Oh, is Matthew asleep? You never can tell. Now, Anne, Mrs. Berry was here. She hopes you'll apologize to her and be good friends with her and Diana again. You're to go over there and... Why, Anne, don't go flying up into the air. Oh, can I go right now this afternoon? Yes, surely after... Anne, Shirley, are you crazy? Come back here and get something on you. Oh, you're awake, are you?
When the sun's coming up, showing first signs of light, stripped of our armor and all out of fight, we've hurled every insult and crossed every line. How do we get back to find? After the tears have all dried up inside, there's no need to lie and there's nowhere to hide. When that look in your eye says you're no longer mine, how do we get back to find?
Look at them out there dancing like fairy queens. Fairy queen, little six.
Seems like this new one, eh? This lady teacher?
Oh yes, another of her kindred spirits, I'd say. Oh, I just love Miss Stacy. When she says my name, I just know she's spelling with an E, Marilla. And oh, she dresses so beautifully. Her puff sleeves are bigger than anyone else's in Avonlea.
Pop sleeves?
Miss Tracy got some trips around the wood for field days, reciting and so on. And who lives such a great waste of time?
Pop sleeves.
Oh, hush, now this on to the foolishness.
There's something different about her.
Well, she's wealthy than the others. The others have good bringing up and know how to behave.
No. I just red hair, but I don't know why.
Well, I'm sure I don't know either. You tell me when you find out.
Oh well, now.
What?
They're coming in. All
No, Josie.
No!
I don't see why. It has to be Ruby or Jane. Why?
Because. Hello, Marilla. Hello, Matthew. Hello, Marilla. Hello, Matthew.
Girls.
Why can't I?
Because it's
It's ridiculous, Josie. You don't look like a fairy queen. You don't look like a fairy at all. Well, Anne's one of the attendants. A red-headed fairy is just as ridiculous.
Here, Guy. Will this do?
Oh yes, that'd be perfect.
Good, let's go try it again.
Come on. And we'll tie some white roses in your hair.
It's
What?
she, Marilla. Hey, those others have colors and things.
What do you mean?
She, like, why do you like a mouse?
What are you saying?
Pop sleeps!
Matthew, well, you're the last person I expect to find looking through a woman's store window.
Rachel! Oh!
Matthew,
Well, no. I'm trying. There's...
maybe I could help you.
Yes. I'd like to find, a dress.
A dress.
Yes.
A dress.
A dress for Anne.
For Anne.
Yes.
A dress for Anne.
Yes.
You'd like me to help you pick out goods for just for Anne?
Yes.
Well, I will.
Thank you.
Matthew, have you something particular in mind?
Well, I like to make the sleeves into the latest fashion.
Puffs, of course.
Thank you.
I'll make it up in the very latest fashion. You needn't worry about it.
Thank you so much.
Well, that man is waking up after being asleep for over 60 years.
You look so smart too. I'm in your dress. Isn't she very lucky? Matthew is so lucky he just thought of that just in time for the Christmas concert.
Yes, thank you again, Matthew.
Well, now.
Marilla, you haven't said anything yet of the concert. Did you like it?
Well, I suppose it was alright as those things go.
Oh, Diana, stay out here in just a minute before you go home.
Alright, Anne.
Such foolishness. You'll catch your death of cold, both of you.
Marilla.
Don't be long, Anne, and let Diana run on home.
Oh, it's been a brilliant evening.
Yes, your solo was perfectly deleted.
Oh, don't you think so?
Of course. Did I do right, do you think?
Oh, Anne, your recitation just brought down the house.
I was so nervous. Did I go alright?
Yes, you grown lovely.
Really?
Really?
Oh, it truly has been a wonderful vacation.
Well, now. Our Anne is Anne as well as any of you today.
Yes. Yes, she did.
Yes.
She did look real nice in that dress you got her.
Of course.
No, I suppose. I've been kind of opposing to this consciously, but I suppose there's no real harm in it. I suppose the next best thing we can do for her is to send her to Queens for a teacher's certificate.
Queens.
Yes.
Although it's shut down.
It's a while yet.
Yes.
Oh, it was a romantic evening.
Yes. Anyhow, I was proud of Anne tonight. Though I'm not going to tell her.
Why? Why, Marilla?
Oh, it's very well for us to be proud of her, but she's already proud enough as she is.
Wasn't the Boy Scout fun?
Oh, yes.
River Black was just splendid. I know it's awful mean the way you treat Gil. Wait till I tell you. When you ran off the platform after the fairy's dialogue, one of your roses fell out of your hair, and I saw Gil pick it up and put it in his waist pocket. Here now, you're so romantic, aren't you? You ought to be pleased by that.
I always have thought in him. It's nothing to me what that person does.
Oh,
You girls are going to turn out blue there. Come on in, Anne, and just let poor Diana run on home.
All right. Good night.
good night.
And it was perfectly romantic.
Good night, Anne.
Good night, Marilla. Good night, Matthew.
Anne?
Yes?
Your Miss Stacy told me that you were the part of your star today. And Me and Marlo is very proud of you today.
Thank you, Matthew.
Oh, she does look really dead.
Ew. Yes.
It makes me a little frightened.
Me too.
Do you suppose it's right to act like this? Mrs. Flynn says all playing acting is abominably wicked.
Ruby, you shouldn't talk about Mrs. Lynn. This was hundreds of years before Mrs. Lynn was born. Oh, Jane, arrange this. It's silly for Elaine to be talking when she's dead.
All right, Anne. Elaine. Come on, girls. Coverlet of gold. One white lily. Now she's all ready. We must kiss her quiet brows. Anne, smile a little. Elaine, lay as though she smiled. That's good. Go on, girls. Your speeches.
Sister, farewell forever. Farewell, sweet sister.
What?
We're playing Elaine.
Elaine?
Duh, the Lily Maid from the Isle of Kings. Tennyson?
Ugh. And, look here. Can we be friends? I'm awfully sorry I made fun of your hair. I only meant it as a joke. I didn't mean to make you mad. Besides, it's so long. I think your hair is awfully pretty, honest I am. Come on, let's be friends.
No, I'm never going to be friends with Gilbert Blythe. I don't ever want to be.
Alright! I'll never ask you to be friends again, Aunt Shirley. And I don't care either.
Anne.
The Gilbert Blythe came along and ruined our play.
Oh, how perfectly splendid of him. Oh, it's so romantic. Oh, yes. Of course you'll talk to him after this.
Of course I will not. And I don't ever want to hear that word romantic again, Jane Andrews. I'm done with romance. I'm quite sure you're going to see much more sensible Anne from now on.
I certainly hope so. Diana, girls, let's go home.
Oh, you don't already understand. A little of it is a good thing. Of course, not too much, but keep it a little of it, Anne.
This is your drinks, Matthew, and I wash my hands of it. If Anne catches pneumonia sleeping in a strange bed in Charlottetown, don't blame me.
Matthew!
Anne!
Marilla! Oh, it was splendid! Charlottetown was so big! Oh, Diana said her Aunt Josephine Barry was rich, but her house, it was so beautiful. We got to stay in the spare room, just like Miss Barry promised. And the fair! I never imagined anything so interesting. There were thousands of people there, Marilla. Oh, and that night, we went for a drive in the park. Oh, that night, the Academy of Music, the concert in the Academy of Music. Oh, Marilla, it was beyond description. I was so excited I couldn't even talk. I told Miss Barry I don't see how I can return to common life after that. Miss Barry generally left at almost anything I said. Even when I said almost all things.
Oh, did she?
Yes, and she said I can come back and visit her anytime I wanted.
Well,
I've had a perfectly splendid time.
sounds as good, eh?
I feel like it marked an epoch in my life.
A what?
An epoch.
Oh.
But the best of it all was the coming home.
Aye.
It's been fearful quiet here without you, Anne.
Never seen such a state.
Thank you, Matthew. I think I can speak for myself.
I was only...
I can see what you're only doing. And you, take your bag from the hallway and put them in your room before someone trips over them.
All right.
And come back to help me get supper.
Marilla, why won't you tell her how I feel about her?
No, it's because you're so ready to do it for me.
What?
Oh, I don't do that like you and Anne.
Marilla?
Pick pat and talk. I don't know. Sometimes I think it's sinful somehow to put your heart so on another human being as. Anne?
Yes?
Mrs. Barry was here, Anne. She thinks you should go to Queen's Academy to study to be a teacher. What do you think? Do you want to go to Queen's Academy?
Oh, I love to be a teacher, but would it be too expensive?
Well, when me and Matthew brought you up, we knew we'd have to give you good education, so you can go to Queen's if you'd like to.
Oh, Marilla, thank you so much. I'll study as hard as I can and try my very best to be credit to you. Though, I want to not be expecting much in geometry.
Miss Stacy says you're diligent. I think you'll fit in right if you work hard.
Oh, no, she said more than that.
What?
Oh, no. Well, there's nothing more to it. Well, Anne, go back up the stairs and start unpacking your things.
Oh, I would help with
No,
that.
you have a class to attend tomorrow and you'll be fresh and ready. Come on.
Thank you, Marilla.
Welcome home, Anne.
Thank you, Miss Stacy. Have a wonderful summer. See you in September.
I'm never going to look at a school book all summer.
I'm going to lock mine away in the chest in the attic.
Oh, and
I'm serious. I'm gonna behind the key.
What's so amusing over here?
oh, it's Anne. She's been telling
I
us.
see. Could I escort you ladies part of the way home?
Sure you can, Gilbert. That'd be nice, I guess.
Let's see. I've got one arm for each. How convenient.
Well, she's not doing any hard work, and you might as well tell him Matthew not to breathe is not work. Well,
Good evening, Mrs. Lynn.
10. Well, I'll leave you alone. Thanks for dropping by, Rachel.
What do Mrs. Lynn want?
Oh, I missed the exciting account of Matthew's bad heart and... Well, you know Rachel.
Oh, yes.
I had to find out what it was. Only 2 months before your entrance exams.
I wish it was June. It was all over. It haunts me. Sometimes I wake up at night and wonder what I'll do if I don't pass.
Well, go to school next year and try again.
Oh, I don't believe I don't hard for it. It'd be such a disgrace to fail if others pass. There was so much to. Jane and Ruby are just going to start becoming teachers. That's their kind of ambition. And Josie Pye says she's just going to college for education's sake because she won't have to earn her livings.
Well, what is Gilbert's life going to be?
I don't have to know what Gables Pye's ambition in life is, if he has any. But have I been talking too much? Does it hurt your head today?
No, it's okay. They're coming more often now, though. These headaches. I'll have to see a doctor about them. As for chatter, I don't think I mind it. I kind of got used to it. You don't chatter half as much, and you don't use half as many big words as before. What has gone into you?
I don't know. Somehow, I don't want to talk as much now. I'm going to finish this in my room.
All right. I'll call you for supper. I've been thinking about Anne. She's got to be such a big girl now. I'll miss her terribly.
Well, now, the furniture will be built by the company by the time.
Oh, Matthew, why is it the same? There now. Men can't understand these things.
Well, the girls all say Daniel didn't pass. Except for Josie, of course. Girls went in hysterics. Oh dear. Oh, it's not here yet. Mrs. McDonald said she posted it once. Yes, Ruby discovered a terrible mistake she made in English paper.
Hold it.
What?
Never mind.
Oh.
What? You know you did well, though.
Well, I'm pretty sure I did all right, but I won't feel good unless I pass higher than. I want to get into top 10 at least.
You mean you want to build?
No, it's not just that, Diana. Matthew is sure I can beat the whole island, as he says. I just have to pass high, for his sake.
All right, Anne.
I feel so much better if you could just stay with me. The paper will be in real soon.
Oh, I've got to meet my father. I'll come back and stay with you if I can.
All right, please try.
Oh, here are the girls. So you won't be alone anyway. Good luck, everyone.
Thanks, Diana.
Not in yet. No. I'm glad you're here. I didn't want to stay alone.
Well, you sure won't have to do that.
Of course, there's no telling that it'll even come in today.
Hunting the post office again today, girls?
Same as you.
Oh, I don't need to be here. I know I did well enough to get in.
Oh, buck up, everyone. You'll pass fine. I'm going to check.
Gilbert and Ned Wright had a bet on it.
On what?
Who's going to win?
What?
I told Ned it was waste of his money. There is no doubt in the world that Gilbert can beat me.
Oh, Josie. Anne!
Diana. Oh my, she's got a paper.
Anne, you've passed. Passed the very first. Well, you and Gilbert both. But you guys are ties and thought your name is the first. Oh, I'm so proud.
Look at that.
There they are. Am I in there? There I am.
Oh, am I here?
And Gilbert. Father brought the paper from the train at Red River. They won't be here till tomorrow by mail. And you've passed. Every one of you. Oh, Miss Stacy, be delighted. Oh, and how does it feel like to see your name at the top of the pass list like this?
I never thought I could. Yes, I did. Just once. Excuse me a minute, Diana. I have to find Matthew.
There they are, Anne. Matthew. Marilla.
What is going on, Anne?
I passed, and I'm first. What? First?
Well, now, I told you to put them all easy.
Oh, we better get going. You've done pretty well, I must say.
Pretty well, pretty well.
Congratulations, Anne. We're so proud of you. You did so well.
Carmody. Next stop, Carmody.
Just 10 more minutes.
I'm so glad to get home.
Oh, me too.
Homesick for Tokyo, Daphne?
Oh, Josie. I've lost 7 pounds studying for the final exams the last 2 weeks.
Yes, this has been so much harder than I thought.
Are you ready, Anne?
I think so. Yes.
I wish I had your confidence.
I wish I had your brain.
Well, I don't really care. If I don't pass this year, I'll just come back next. My father can afford to send me.
Anne, are you signing up for the Avery Scholarship Competition?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Good. My English professor thought he was sure you would win if you tried.
Professor Tremaine said Emily Clay will likely win the Avery Scholarship, and that Gilbert Blythe was sure to get the rest in first class.
Oh, Josie. Josie.
Oh, if a hard work can win it, Matthew would be so proud to see me going on a red for a BA.
You can do it. I know, Anne.
Yes. I think Marilla would.
But Gilbert's awfully smart, Anne.
Oh, Josie.
Jonesy.
You know, he really is pretty smart at English, though.
Evening, ladies.
Good evening, Gilbert.
Ruby, I wonder if you might enjoy some company on the walk home?
Why, sure do, I guess.
Good. I'll see you when we pull in.
Well,
Well,
3rd time Gilbert Blythe carried your satchel home, Ruby.
oh, feeling sweet, but I don't really understand half the thing you say.
Oh.
Frank Stockley has for dash and go. But he isn't as good looking as Gil.
Oh.
I really can't decide which one of them I like best.
Well, Ruby, you be sure to tell me when you decide.
It's only a few minutes. I think I'll go over and sit with Gil the rest of the way.
You know, I never knew that Ruby was the type that Gilbert would like. She once told me that Gilbert sounded just like Anne Shirley did when she had a thoughtful fit on.
Carmody. Station stop is Carmody.
I believe that it's
us if possessed of a need to be off somewhere. We want a sense of a place to call home. Perhaps those of us for whom that need was not fulfilled until later in life feel it more keenly and cherish it more closely. I do not rightly know. I do know that I deeply cherish my home, my Canada, my Prince Edward Island, with the rich red of its winding roads, the brilliant emerald of its uplands and meadows, and the glowing sapphire of its encircling sea. I know that my little town of Avonlea is the loveliest spot on this lovely island, that our homestead is finest corner of this fine place. I have seen little of the world, as yet know not whether I will see more. I know now where I belong. My name is Anne Shirley, and I am of the Gables.
Reckon we're glad to keep her?
It's not the first time I've been glad. Do like to rub things in the cupboard.
So now she's a famous scholar and she's just gonna sit around and read books all day?
No, there, Rachel. She's taking a well-deserved break.
Well,
It's one day, and Marla's making it. Starting tomorrow, I'll do all the curls until I leave for Redmond in September.
well, I'll just tell you plain, Anne. I don't believe in a higher educations of women.
Oh, Rachel.
Unfit some for a woman's true role.
Well, maybe a woman's role is getting just a bit broader.
To all the way to Nova Scotia.
Well, the work life is going there too.
No, he isn't.
Yes, he is.
No, he is not. His father can't afford to send him there after all. He'll have to earn his way through. He's applied to teach here at the school for next year.
Oh.
It's true, Anne.
Oh.
I didn't think you'd be so disappointed to see the back door clean.
No, I'm not, but
What?
nothing. Oh, there's Matthew. Wasn't there something you were going to tell him?
Oh, yes, about the Abbey Band.
Oh, Rachel, I wouldn't. I passed on what you told him last week, and he didn't want to hear it.
Well, he better hear this. Matthew! Marilla?
Well, every penny we have is saved in that bank, the Abbey's bank. I wanted Matthew to move it over to savings bank, but, well, Mr. Abbey was a great friend of father's, and we've always banked with him.
Marilla, is Matthew well?
No, he isn't. He had some real bad spells with his heart this spring, and he won't spell himself a mite. I'm hoping you might kind of rest now that you're here, and you always cheer him up, Anne.
You can't tell a man a thing for his own good. Your paper came I put under your chair.
Any bank that Mr. Avery runs is good enough for Green Gables.
Oh, there's just no talking to him.
Let him rest a bit. I'll see if I can talk to him about it later.
Well, I wish you good luck.
She's got away with Matthew.
Oh, I'm sure she does.
She's well educated, you see.
No!
What, Matthew?
No! The bank!
Matthew! Oh my dear Lord! Matthew, what's wrong? Matthew, he's fainted, that's what he is.
Marilla!
Anne, go quick, run into town! Anne!
Marilla, there's nothing we could do for that.
No.
Marilla, was that Mr. Sadler getting past in the lane?
Yes, I suppose it was.
Are you very tired today?
Yes, no, I don't know. It's not bad.
Did you saw the eye specialist?
Oh, I saw him.
What did he say?
What did he say? He says if I give it sewing and reading entirely, and if I give it time, he says he thinks that my eyes may get better, but he says if I don't, I'll be still blind in 6 months.
Oh,
Blind.
he has given you hope.
I don't call it much hope, Anne. I might as well be blind. Or dead.
Marilla!
Oh, I can't help much crying though, Anne.
I could help. I could do all the...
No, Anne. Not thank you. Well, if you could get me a cup of tea, I'd be thankful. About that.
What did Mr. Sutter want?
He wants to buy Green Gables.
Buy it. Oh, you're not going to Severn Gables.
Oh, and I wish I didn't have to, but it won't bring much, but I'll have to do it.
It wasn't Severn Gables.
Oh, and I wish I didn't have to, really.
You won't have to be over here alone. I'll be with you. I'm not going to Redmond.
What do you mean?
I'm not going to take a scholarship. You don't think I can be alone, Marilla. I've been planning on this all day. Yesterday wants to rent a farm next year. And I'm going to teach. They promised the school right here for me life. So I've applied over Carmody. I can drive myself there and back. When I meet you, I'll keep you cheered up.
You can't waste all your ambitions for me, Anne.
I'm just ambitious as ever. It's just I've been in your room. That's all. I'm going to be the teacher. I'm going to save your eyesight.
I don't think I ought to let you, Anne.
You can't stop me. I'm 17 and a half and obstinate as a mule, as you used to tell me. Nobody could love different Gables uniting, so we must keep it together.
Oh, well, I could get on real well with you here, Anne. And, oh, I know I've been kind of harsh and rude to you, maybe, but you mustn't think I didn't love you.
Oh, you don't have to.
No, I want to tell you, again. I've been kind of harsh with you, I know, but you mustn't think I didn't love you as much as Matthew did.
You really need to.
Yeah, no, I want to tell you what I can. I love you, Anne, and I don't know what I'd do if you never come, if you never came to Green Gables. You've been my hope and joy ever since you came to Green Gables, Anne.
She told me yesterday my hair looked better than ever, or at least when I wore black, it looked better.
Oh, Josie's a pie, so she can't help being disagreeable. Well, I saw Gilbert the other day in church looking so tall and manly. He looks a lot like his father did at the same age. John was a good boy. He and I used to be real good friends. People called him my beau. Thought that might get your attention.
Oh, Marilla, what happened? Why didn't you?
Oh, we had a quarrel. I would forgive him when he asked me to. I was going to, after a while, but I wanted to punish him a little bit. He never came back. The Blythes are all mighty for pin stand.
So, you've had a bit of romance in your life.
I suppose you might call it that. You wouldn't think so to look at me, would you?
Oh, Marilla.
Everyone has forgotten me about me and John. I've forgotten myself. But it all comes back when I see Gilbert looking at you.
Marilla.
Rachel.
Oh, I declare I'm getting glad to sit down. It's a great blessing not to be old, Marilla.
Yes, Rachel.
The town's evenly divided, I say, on Anne's turning back the scholarship.
You're keeping count, aren't you?
Lots of them I think it's pretty foolish, but I'm just glad she's giving up this notion of going to college. You've got to have as much education now as a woman can be comfortable.
But I'm going to study everything about your college right here at Green Gables.
Oh, and Shirley, you'll kill yourself.
Not at all. I have lots of spare time during winter evenings, and I'm going to teach over at Carmody, you know.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not. You're going to teach right here in Avonlea. The trustees have decided to give you the school.
But they promised to give a Blythe.
So they did, but Gilbert went back and withdrew his application and suggested they hire you. He said he was going to teach at Carmody.
Mrs. Lynn.
I guess you can't prevent him. He's pretty hard-headed, you know. And also he signed the papers with Carmody.
Oh.
Of course, Anne. Of course you'll take the school, right?
I don't think I'll just let him.
Why don't you talk it over with Gilbert?
Oh,
He's right over there waiting.
What? Rachel!
He had me coming first. Marilla, seems like I have my list. Would you walk me to the keys?
Oh, yes.
Gilbert?
thank you. Thank you for giving up the school for me. It was very good of you. I want you to appreciate it.
It wasn't really.
Then what?
All that good of me.
Kill.
I was pleased to be able to do something for you. Are we going to be friends after this? And finally forgive me?
I forgave you a long, long time ago.
When?
I just didn't tell you. I've been with her ever since.
Well, now we're going to be the best of friends.
Yes.
I think we can be a real help to each other.
Oh, yes.
Aren't you going to keep up your study? So am I.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Maybe we could study together.
Yes. I mean, mornings.
What?
Morning at 7, maybe. Before school.
Yes. Morning at 7.
What?
Oh, that Robert Browning poem. Morning at 7. Local science school.
Yes.
Should we start tomorrow?
Yes.
Alright. See you at 7.
Yes.
Mornings at 7.
What?
Morning at 7. Hillside Stew Pro. God's in his heaven. All is right with the world.
When the dust starts to settle around the hurt that we feel, wounds are all open but soon start to heal. Come wrap your arms around me and tell me in time we'll know how to get back to fine. Come wrap your arms around me and tell me in time we'll know how to get back to fine. We'll know how to get back to fine. I want us to get back to fine.
Hey, good looking, why the frown? You always look better when it's upside down. You say you got nowhere that you're going to. Can I go